Hello, 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 good people. This is your guy, your educated, communicator, free thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another hot topic, and it is a hot one. I am getting many requests regarding what is going on with this transgender. But hey, it is a free country. But we have another problem. The topic is this is from the New York Post. Is there a war on biological women? Is it really? Where it appears Congress may have declared such a war. So, we're going to be talking about this so-called war on biological women. And along with it, the transgender takeover and eliminating the official use of the word mother. Can you believe that? This comes to us, once again, like I said, from the New York Post. And I saw this a little bit with Tucker Carlson, along with the request I got, because I had to look it up and I couldn't believe it. And I said, what is this? Now, just take a listen here. One of the first acts of the new House rules of the House of Representatives may be to cancel mom, the word mom. On Sunday, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democratic majority, proposed to eliminate father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister, and all other language deemed insufficiently gender inclusive from House rules. They would be replaced with terms like parent, child, sibling, parent sibling, and so on. Wow. Is this where we're headed? Is this where we are headed? Mother, among the most important concepts in human life, would be erased from the lexicon of the U.S. House of Representatives. It's important to recognize how radical this is and no, it isn't akin to updating federal law to replace policeman with police officer, a national corrective sought by feminists for generations. Which, of course, yeah, when you say the word police officer, okay, that's man and woman, doesn't matter. Because you're an officer of the law. It carries both genders. Now, if Congress bans words like mother and men, they are banning the knowledge that women don't exist. This is insane. It seems like we're going downhill fast, people. We are. Wow. Let's continue here. But mother is a fundamental biological, emotional, familial reality. It is. It captures the irreplaceable bond between a baby and the woman who bore her in her womb. That others can be excellent guardians, a fact no one disputes. We can't justify erasing mom from our vocabulary. For that matter, the political erasure of dad is also dehumanizing because it entails the loss of our capacity to describe relationships that define what it means to be fully human. This is, I'm not going to say the word crazy, well, I said it. But wow. I mean, this is what's going on. Could this be America? Is this America? By all means, call people what they prefer. But language in the law, by definition, ushers words into actions. Words grant rights or take them away. Words can enhance or diminish status, placing people and concepts beyond the bounds of legal protection. No one knows this better than Democrats. By pressing for these changes across the country, they have allowed biological boys into sports competition with biological girls, peeling back the Title IX protections for women in sports. Yes, we'll talk about that. If mother is now a useless concept under House rules, why shouldn't it pose an equally offensive presence in federal law? That's where we're headed, isn't it? Think about it. Erasing mothers and women because the concepts are insufficiently inclusive to gender ideologues. The rights women struggled to win became undone for the name of inclusion. or in the name of inclusion, I would say. People, good people, really? This shows just how out of touch with reality the people in Congress really are. So you can't say mother or father in any of this congressional language? Well, all I can say is this. Well, it seems like number 44 opened the door. And number 45 made sure it didn't come alive. But now we have number 46 putting it back in the mix. You see, I didn't vote in this election. But if I would have rather voted for someone who at least stood for something than for someone that seems is reducing us to nothing. I don't know. You tell me, good people. Now, moving on to the second half of this story, the transgender takeover. The debate continues over whether transgender women have an unfair advantage over biological females. The answer is yes. The transgender women are winning, and they will continue to win. Now, medical experts state that even after you go through the transition, after you pass through puberty, and the rules state that testosterone will have to be below a certain hormonal level, okay, yeah. Biological males who identify as females are still going to have the bone structure, the larger heart, and the muscle mass of a male. Now, there are about 15 states that do not require any medical hormones or surgery for high school transgender athletes to compete. We're talking mostly East Coast and West Coast, y'all. That's what we're talking. New York, Cali, Nevada, Washington State, Utah, Wyoming, South Dakota. Those type of areas. I don't know what's in South Dakota, Wyoming, or Utah. Anyway, but the Jazz in Utah, I guess. Now, there are about 17 states that goes on a case-by-case basis or individual review. Your Midwest, Oklahoma, you're talking maybe Kansas, Illinois, places like that. And you have about 10 states that require a birth certificate or surgery and hormone wait period to compete. Now, you pretty much know who the rest of those are, and that will be Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, just to name a few. And last, you have about 5 states who have no policy at all. And sad to say, I was born in one of them, and I did basic training in one, and I lived in one. And that would be Mississippi, Tennessee, and South Carolina. And to name the other few, just to name the few here. So, this is where we're headed. And you may as well buckle up and get ready. Now listen to this. Here are some transgender victories in sports. Rachel McKinnon, first transgender woman to win a track and field world title. Mac Beggs won the Texas State Girls Wrestling title. Hannah Mouncey dominating women's handball. Terry Miller, gold medal in the 100 and 200 meter race. Mary Gregory broke 4 women's records as a power lifter. Biological male became the first transgender to win a world title in cycling. A transgender athlete in New Zealand competed in the weightlifting contest for women and won. Now, there are no female to male athletes, with restrictions. So there are no female. Now, if you're a female going to male, you can compete without restrictions. Period. That's a no-brainer. I don't think you're really going to. You're not going to make a dent in that. You're not. Now, this has been a struggle for NCAA because they have no guidelines on this. Now, there is a trans woman at Mission College that plays basketball. She's dominating that. So, which brings us to the question. Or questions, I would say. I ask. Do trans athletes have an advantage? Hell yes, they do. Do you agree with Congress eliminating the word mother and father or sister and brother? Does this defy all levels of science? Could this be the end of the likes of Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka? Well, people, can you imagine what they're saying about the Olympics? Well, the old saying is, revenge is a dish best served cold. But I can tell you this, it looks like in 2024, we all know who's going to win most of the gold. I do not know if the continued or supposed war on men is ending, but it sure looks like the war on biological women is just beginning. All right, good people, sad to say, but that's it for today. And remember, if you have or had a bad day, let's just hope things are going to be okay. This is your guy, your educator, communicator, free thinker. Share, subscribe, and like so that I can keep rocking on the mic. Have a good night.